Locally owned, locally connected. This is WFMJ Today.
Some artists paint, others mold clay into something beautiful. For Sean Seminara, his artwork is a little louder. It's the latest step on a journey that has him feeling right at home in Vienna. As he walks around the property just a couple minutes down the road from where he grew up, Sean Seminara can't help but reflect on the journey that brought him back home.
I never would have thought in a million years that I'd be back home right on the street I grew up on doing this. And look around, it's like a Bob Ross painting, the way the trees reflect off the pond. I love it. It's my happy place.
It isn't always this peaceful, though. This is where he makes his artwork using chainsaws and giant chunks of wood. The latest adventure for a guy who's had plenty of them.
It's a Heinz 57 in my career. I tease people. I'm 53 and I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
After years living out west, enjoying Vegas, making a bunch of TV appearances as an extra on shows like Friends and ER, he needed a change. A couple years ago, he moved back home, picked up a chainsaw, and tapped into his creative side.
The piece that really gave me the confidence to know that I could do this for a living was my Bigfoot, Harry from Harry and the Hendersons. He kind of went viral online, and a lot of chainsaw carvers from all over the world reached out and said, "That was awesome, good job, keep up the good work." So they built my confidence, and he's like a staple of the neighborhood. People drive off, pull off the side of the road, get their pictures taken with him.
These days, his creations are hidden all over the place. ET's out there hanging out by the tree line. A 6-foot-tall bat is dangling from a tree. You have bears of all sizes, classic characters from movies and TV. Not bad for a guy who got kicked out of art class in high school for blowing up the kiln.
Mr. Roby was our art teacher, and I didn't do it on purpose, but we had to make these clay projects. So I made a bowling ball, and he was like, "That's hollow, right?" I'm like, yeah. So I put it in there, and it blew up like a bomb.
Which makes the location of one of his biggest pieces kind of ironic. He donated a Mustang to his alma mater at Matthews, and now it sits in front of the high school not far from that art room he got kicked out of. Because despite the long and winding journey, this place will always be special.
More and more I appreciated where we went to school when I was living out west, because you're talking to some of these guys out there, girls, and they went to schools where they graduated 1,500 people in their senior class. I'm like, man, we had 100 people. So when I moved back and started doing it, that was the first thing. It was one of the very first things I knew I wanted to do is I wanted to carve a Mustang and donate it to the high school.
A full circle moment in more ways than one.
I moved away for opportunity, and 20-some years later, turns out what I was looking for all along was right under my nose, a couple hundred yards from where I grew up. I don't know if I'll ever be rich doing this, but man, I've never been happier doing something in my life.
There really is no place like home, sawing through life with a big smile. That's amazing, isn't it? Look at this. So he gave me my very own Emmy. Clearly he could do anything from a smaller custom piece, although this isn't all that small, to transforming a dead tree stump in your yard. You can find him on Facebook, Sean Seminara on Facebook, or look up his YouTube page at Tree AMIGOS Ohio on YouTube.